My name is Harish Wara. I was born in Tanzania, East Africa. I arrived in the UK in 1974, 15th of August actually. This August it will be exactly 40 years. I was 16 years old. I'm the eldest in the family, so I was 16 years old, and then I have two brothers and two sisters. I think because we arrived in August, which was the summer months, so everything was hunky-dory then. But as soon as winter sort of set in, I tell you, that was a very difficult time for us, because we lived in a tropical country, where we didn't see snow, we didn't see winter. And also food-wise, having lived in Africa, we have markets outside, and there is fresh fruit just coming straight from the farms. Life as a teenager was good. When I arrived here, obviously in them times, they had long hairs and they were wearing bell-bottoms and high-heel shoes, So my cousin, he was quite friendly with me. And so he lended me his bell-bottom trousers, his high-heel shoes. On the weekends, he was taking me to Bullring and, nightclubs and stuff like that, So it was quite exciting actually, because I had not experienced this nightclub life and the city life, but the main thing was to become my own boss. And the only thing that I knew was retailing. And my dad had a tailoring shop and a menswear shop, so I started a small business which was alterations. I started that in 1976. And in 1981, I had to vacate that premises. So, but before then, I had an opportunity to go to the British Army, which was in Northern Ireland. There, it's a big camp in Ballykelly, and the British Army was looking for a guy to do alteration for the soldiers, And there was a contractor there who took me there. So I stayed there for about over a year in the camp, and that was quite exciting. So I had a bit of an Irish experience, and I used to fly to Belfast every 3 months and come back for a week. Sparkhill was a different area then. In the 70s, we had lots of Irish customers, and they used to love their made-to-measure suits, So they would come here on the weekend, and they would either buy a suit or make a suit. And these Irish sort of customers, they used to work on the motorways and the building site. So they would buy an expensive suit on the weekend, and then next weekend they are back again. When I see them, they've used their suit for work, and it's full of grease and and says, you just bought this suit last week. Why do you have to use it at work? I said, I don't care. He says, give me another suit. And because they were earning the money in building motorways and stuff like that, so just used to, come buy another suit. And basically, they're using suits as workwear. So that was quite good for me, because if they come and buy a suit every week, that's business for me. But it was quite funny.
At the time, we just went for a real Asian look and feel. So we didn't have any experience. So the uncle that helped us open the shop sent one of his staff, and he was very good. He showed us how to display, showed us a few names, showed us how to hold a meter stick. It was yards at the time, how to cut the fabric. So we were like completely transplanted from a grocery business on Friday, and Monday morning we were selling fabric without any experience at all. So it was all new to us. The customers probably knew more than us. Probably not. I think they did, yeah. So we were like all over the place. We didn't know what was what. And then we would ask them, what's this, what's that? So it was a proper salwar kameez business. It was a sari shop before we bought it. So we were luckily getting some customers, but it was closed down for a few years. But before that, it was a sari shop. So it was just a whole new business for us. I mean, at the beginning, it was a very kind of service, kind of a self-service business. People used to just be able to just go and buy fabric. I remember a lot of men used to come in and buy for their wives then. It was automatic. It wasn't unheard of. Man coming in, buying for his wife, choosing everything. It was like that kind of, remember the clothes culture, ladies were home and the men used to go out shopping. It was very much like that. And then slowly, ladies started getting a bit more coming in without the men first, and then completely choosing themselves. And the kids started growing up. Fashion-wise, massive change. We were kind of a Japanese business before. We used to only sell Japanese fabrics. There was no India, Pakistan fabric coming in. So there used to be a very good quality product, but it never used to change. It used to be the same. You could come after 6 months and there'd be a slight pattern change. Japanese are very conservative kind of companies. Don't change, man. They're not very colourful. And so that kind of stayed the same for a while. But I think people got bored with that. And then slowly we noticed India and Pakistan were started coming in to business. So you'd get some new colours, and obviously now it used to be only loose fabrics before, and now then they started selling 3 pieces. Now you can get salwar kameez and dupatta together matched up. Before it never used to match up. You used to have to match it yourself. You used to be going around matching a dupatta, buying a £2 dupatta. And we always used to look forward to Rosé and Eid. They were our peak. Christmas had nothing to do with around here. Nobody used to know about Christmas. Eid used to be like amazing. Used to be full. Shop used to be full. The loose fabric will eventually become a very niche market. We've adapted to that. We've gone into online. We got a lot of designer books. So it's changing. It's changing. And I think it's changed more in the last 5 years than it's changed in the last 20 years.
ਸਿਨੇਮਾ ਖੋਲ੍ਹਿਆ ਆਫਟਰ 70। ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਮੋਜ਼ਲੀ ਰੋਡ ਤੇ ਇੰਪੀਰੀਅਲ ਸਿਨੇਮੇ ਦੇ ਸੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਇਕੱਠੀਆਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਫਿਲਮਾਂ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਵਰਲਡ ਆਫ ਸਿਨੇਮਾ ਲੈ ਲਿਆ। ਹੋਰ ਸਿਨੇਮੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ। ਟਰਾਇੰਗਲ ਸਿਨੇਮਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗੀ, ਲੁਕਸਰ ਸਿਨੇਮਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਡ੍ਰੀਮਲੈਂਡ ਸਿਨੇਮਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਇੰਪੀਰੀਅਲ ਸਿਨੇਮਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਕਾਰਲਟਨ ਸਿਨੇਮਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਇਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਿਨੇਮੇ ਫੁੱਲ ਟਾਈਮ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ। ਪਿਕਚਰ ਹਾਊਸ ਸਿਨੇਮਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਮੋਸਟਲੀ ਰੋਡ 'ਤੇ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ। ਉਹ ਵੀ ਅਜਾਇਬ ਚੌਹਾਨ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਚਲਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਡ੍ਰੀਮਲੈਂਡ ਸੀਗਾ ਆਵਿਦ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਚਲਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਟ੍ਰਾਇੰਗਲ ਸਿਨੇਮਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਸਾਵਰ ਬ੍ਰਦਰ, ਹਾਫਿਜ਼ ਬ੍ਰਦਰ, ਇਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਇਹ ਚਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਅਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਲੁਕਸਰ ਸਿਨੇਮਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਇਹ ਮੀਰ ਅਫਜ਼ਲ ਖਾਨ ਅਤੇ ਬੋਸਤਾਨ ਚਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਇਹ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨੀ ਫਿਲਮਾਂ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ। ਉਹ ਵਰਲਡ ਆਫ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਫਿਟੇਬਲ ਸੀਗਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹਦੀ ਰਿਪੀਟ ਫਿਲਮਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦੀਆਂ ਲੱਗਦੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ। ਇੱਕ ਟਿਕਟ 'ਤੇ 2 ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ ਅਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਲਾਗੇ ਛਾਗੇ ਜਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਬੱਸਾਂ ਦੇ ਅੱਡੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਬੱਸਾਂ ਦੇ ਅੱਡੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਸੀਗਾ। 4 ਪਾਸੇ ਬੱਸਾਂ ਦਾ ਅੱਡਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਕਿਸਮ ਦਾ। ਸਾਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਬੱਸਾਂ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਸੀ, ਸਾਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਤੋਂ ਬੱਸਾਂ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਹ ਸਿਨੇਮਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਸੀ। ਇੰਪੀਰੀਅਲ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਚੱਲਦਾ, ਸਾਰੇ ਸਿਨੇਮੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਫਿਲਮਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੜੀਆਂ ਹਿੱਟ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਿਨੇਮਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਬੜੇ ਕਿਊ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਫਰਾਈਡੇ ਨਾਈਟ, ਅਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ। 2 ਸ਼ੋਅ ਸੈਚਰਡੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, 3 ਸ਼ੋਅ ਸੰਡੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਮੰਡੇ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਅਤੇ ਲੇਟ ਨਾਈਟ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਵੀਂ ਫਿਲਮ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ, ਬਰਾਂਡ ਨਿਊ। ਉਹਦਾ ਟਿਕਟ ਅਸੀਂ 2 ਪੌਂਡ 2.5 ਪੌਂਡ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। 11 ਵਜੇ ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ। ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੱਡੀ ਧਰਮਵੀਰ ਸੀਗੀ, ਸ਼ੋਲੇ ਸੀਗੀ, ਮੁਗਲੇ ਆਜ਼ਮ ਸੀ, ਕੁਰਬਾਨੀ ਸੀਗੀ, ਹੋਰ ਕਈ ਫਿਲਮਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੜੀਆਂ ਫਿਲਮਾਂ ਆਈਆਂ ਅਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੱਲੀਆਂ। ਕਿਊ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਬਾਹਰ, ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਿਊ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀ, ਬਹੁਤ ਬੜੇ ਕਿਊ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਸੀ। ਐਕਟਰ ਆਏ, ਦਲੀਪ ਕੁਮਾਰ ਸੈਰਵਾਨੋ ਆਏ, ਜਤਿੰਦਰਾ ਆਏ, ਸੁਨੀਲ ਦੱਤ ਆਇਆ, ਨਰਗਿਸ, ਰਾਜ ਕਪੂਰ ਵੀ ਆਇਆ, ਰਜਿੰਦਰ ਕੁਮਾਰ ਵੀ ਆਇਆ ਸੀ, ਦਾਰਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਇਆ। ਉਹ ਰੈਸਲਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਆ ਕੇ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਅਤੇ ਰੰਧਾਵਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਭੋਲੂ ਪਹਿਲਵਾਨ ਸੀਗਾ, ਉਹ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ 'ਚੋਂ ਆਏ ਸੀ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਕੁਸ਼ਤੀਆਂ ਕਰਾਈਆਂ ਸੀ। ਜੌਨੀ ਵਾਕਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਇਆ ਸੀ, ਜੌਨੀ ਵਾਕਰ ਵੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਖਾਸ ਫਰੈਂਡ ਸੀਗਾ। ਵੇਦ ਮਿੱਤਲ ਦੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਫਿਲਮ ਲੱਗੀ ਸੀ, ਇਹ ਵੀ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਨਾਥ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਉਹ ਕਾਰ 'ਚ ਹੀ ਬੈਠਾ ਰਿਹਾ, ਸਿਨੇਮੇ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਇਆ। ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ, ਮੈਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੈਠਾ, ਮੈਂ ਡਰਿੰਕ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ। ਸੁਧੀਰ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨੀ ਫਿਲਮਾਂ ਲਾਈਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ ਉਹਦੀਆਂ, ਖੈਬਰ ਪਾਸ ਲਾਈ ਸੀ, ਹੋਰ ਕਈ ਫਿਲਮਾਂ ਉਹਦੀਆਂ ਬੜੀਆਂ ਫਿਲਮਾਂ ਲਾਈਆਂ ਸੀ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਿਨੇਮੇ 'ਚ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ। 2-3 ਦਿਨ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹ। ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਸੀਗੀ, ਗੁਜਰਾਤੀ ਸੀਗੇ, ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਸੀਗੇ, ਹੋਰ ਬੰਗਾਲੀ ਲੋਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਇਹ ਆਪੋ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਸੀਗਾ, ਅਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਲੜਾਈ ਝਗੜਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਬੜੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਫਿਲਮ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਸੀ ਅਤੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਬਾਹਰ। ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾਣਾ ਅਤੇ ਪੱਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਿਰ ਗਲਾਸ ਪੀਣੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਕੱਠਿਆਂ ਹੋ ਕੇ। ਇੱਦਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਿਆਰ ਸੀ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਦਾ। ਸਿਨੇਮੇ ਦੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਇਹ ਸੀ, ਵੀਡੀਓ ਆ ਗਿਆ। ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਅਤੇ ਲੋਕ ਵੀਡੀਓ 'ਤੇ ਮੂਵ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਗਏ, ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਮੂਵ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਗਏ, ਅਤੇ ਸਿਨੇਮੇ 'ਚ ਆਉਣੋਂ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਹੀ ਗਏ, ਅਤੇ ਸਿਨੇਮੇ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗੇ, ਅਤੇ ਕੋਸਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਿਰ ਪਈ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੀ, ਅਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਿਨੇਮੇ ਵਾਰੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਿਨੇਮੇ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਗਏ, ਅਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈ ਗਿਆ।
My name is Chandu Thakrar. I came into this country on 6th of October 1972. I came from Uganda, whereby we were thrown out of the country by the president of the country, Idi Amin. No, I came with the family. That included my 2 brothers, 2 sisters, and my parents. When we arrived, obviously, we were not supposed to carry any money with us when we left the country. So when we arrived, we were all penniless on the spot. But obviously, there was a scheme which was organized by Uganda Resettlement Board, whereby we were picked up and we were put in the camp. I stayed in the camp, and I did some social work there as well in the camp, helping the people out. After about 2 months, I decided to come to Birmingham. By coming to Birmingham, we came to drop a family into Birmingham, and that's when I found an accommodation on my own, and that's where I started my life. I started working for Royal Mail. I worked for Royal Mail for about a year. Yeah, in the year 1974, I started my business in Sparkbrook. I was the first guy who brought the frozen cassava into Birmingham. And I started with frozen pita bread as well into Birmingham. And then, gradually, all the Asian food, the ones people couldn't get it here. For example, cassava was a very common product in Africa, but that product was imported from Costa Rica, which is South of America. And then eventually we found out there were a lot of other items, especially when it comes to spices and things like that. We found the importers who we got in touch with, and we managed to get the stuff into Birmingham. So there were a lot of people who couldn't get the stuff, whereby we started specializing in Asian food. It was all hard work. When we started, we used to work 16 hours a day. So we used to start 5:30 in the morning and finish at about 10 o'clock at night. In those days, normally, people were earning, the wages were about £5 to £6 a week. And they used to come to us. If they spent £2, that was a week's grocery. And this is how it used to be. And obviously, people like us who worked very hard, we specialize in Asian food mainly. So obviously, we used to get people from all part of the Midlands. There were people who were even exporting food by buying from us to their relations who were living in certain part of Europe. So we had to pack everything for them and provide all that service. To give you an idea, because we used to specialize in Asian food, there were a lot of products which we found that a lot of English people were interested in those days. The time went by, then they got more interested into Asian food, and we started supplying. We were the first, if I'm not mistaken, the Asian supplier to the hospitals in Midlands, and to the prisons.
بدن پہ ستارے لپیٹے ہوئے او جانے تمنا کدھر جا رہے ہو ذرا پاس آؤ تو چین آ جائے ذرا پاس آؤ تو چین آ جائے بدن پہ ستارے لپیٹے ہوئے او جانے تمنا کدھر جا رہی ہو ذرا پاس آؤ تو چین آ جائے ذرا پاس آؤ تو چین آ جائے. تو پھر یہ ہے کہ 1984 میں ایشین سانگ کانٹیسٹ ہوا تھا لیسٹر میں ٹاؤن ہال. تو انڈیا کے ایکٹر تھے وہ سنیل دت، وہ تھے ادھر، اور اپنا محسن خان کرکٹر، رینا رائے، یہ سارے ادھر تھے، مہیش وغیرہ. تو پھر میرے دوست قریشی صاحب، ڈاکٹر منیر قریشی، وہ یہاں انہوں نے بڑے کام کیے ہیں یہ ایشین کلچر کے لیے نا، گرودوارے، مسجد، مندر، ان کے لیے بہت وہ کام ویل نون ہے یہاں کے. یہ اکیڈمی انہیں کی تھی. جب ہم لاہور میں تھے کہنے لگے کہ یار کوئی جگہ تو ہونی چاہیے انگلینڈ میں جا کے جہاں پہ 4 آدمی بیٹھیں اور لوگ آتے ہیں، بڑی بڑی پرسنالٹی آئی ہیں، لارڈ میئر بھی آئے، کونسلرز بھی آتے ہیں ابھی بھی، اور اچھی اچھی پرسنالٹی آئی ہیں ادھر نا. تو ان سے بڑی حوصلہ افزائی ہوئی. بہت کچھ کہتے ہیں کہ ہم کریں گے تو بس اسی آس میں بیٹھے ہوئے، چلو کچھ نہ کچھ کریں گے. ہم آرٹ کی خدمت کر رہے ہیں تو لوگ آتے ہیں، محظوظ ہوتے ہیں، خوش ہوتے ہیں سن کے. تو دے کوائٹ ہیپی وین دے گو ہوم. سو اس میں مجھے بھی خوشی ملتی ہے کہ چلو میری وجہ سے ان کو بھی خوشی ملتی ہے. یہاں پہ لوگ وہ آتے ہیں ڈپریس کے مارے ہوئے، وہ ایسے بھی ہیں سائیں لوگ جو روڈ پہ گھومتے پھرتے رہتے ہیں، اور یہاں آ کے تو بیٹھتے نا، کہتے آپ نے پلیز یہ بند نہیں کرنا یہ جگہ، ہم کہاں جائیں گے. ایک دو تو ہیں وہ تو رو پڑتے ہیں، اموشنل ہو، پلیز آپ یہ بند نہ کرنا، ہماری دعا آپ کے ساتھ ہے. یہ بس میں نے کہا جب تک میرے ہاتھ میں ہے میں کوشش کرتا ہوں، کرتا رہوں گا جب تک میری صحت اجازت دیتی ہے. تو بس سلسلہ چل رہا ہے، اس کی مہربانی خدا کی کہ کوشش کر رہے ہیں اور چل رہا کام، اور آگے کا پتہ نہیں ہے. Who knows.
While we were on the train coming to Jamaica from to Birmingham, I was looking for the houses, and I saw all these brick things joined together, and I thought they were soldiers' barracks, and the smoke coming out of the chimney was so strange. And I turned to my husband and I said, "Where are the houses?" And he said, "You're looking at the houses." Those are the houses. But it was a tremendous experience because I didn't know anything about winter. I hadn't seen the snow before. I just saw Christmas cards with the trees, and these trees look like they're dead. All these branches have no leaves on. So our only experience of snow was what we saw on the Christmas cards, and when friends in England would write back or speak to us. No, it was writing, letter writing that time, not talking about any telephone in what. So they would write and try to describe the snow. And everybody would meet up at Bullring and you say, "Oh, you can get yam here and you can get this here and get that here." You would meet this one, you would be introduced to somebody else that you didn't know, and you made friends, and so, "Oh, did you know so-and-so is living up there?" "What, man? Such live? Where he live? Or where she live?" And we break out in our Jamaican talk. And so it didn't take us long to settle down where food was concerned. We could still cook our rice and peas, and there was stew meats, and we get meat at the Asian shops as well. So if you didn't have time and want to go to the bullring, you just go to an Asian shop and you will get you curry goat. It wasn't goat anyway, it was old sheep. But we got to find out, but we just cook it the best we could. So it was hard to get into the food business. By this time, a lot of black people who came up before us started their own little group. And the reason for that was because of the racism. They were terrified, they were frightened to know that a Christian pastor, minister, whether you be Methodist, whatever you were, some of the racism was so blatant that black people were so disappointed because we're lively people when we go to church. And the Pentecostals especially, and those New Testament Church of God, Prophecy, and those major black churches, they like to say amen. And they like to clap their hands as well and be lively and happy. And you stretch out your hand because that's what you used to, and that's sitting with other people and especially with leaders. And the minister would drop his hand down by his side. That was what the experience a lot of black people had. And that's why they started to have house churches. Meet in the church houses, we would have a Sabbath school lesson. That the first part. We would sing choruses, and, we have choruses. Sometimes they go from me, but they come back and so on. And now these choruses have the reggae beat. And the older people would say, "What, that sound like pop song? That sound like reggae song," and so on. But after a while, people begin to get into them. So, you feel free because it's all joy and happiness and so on.
My name is Sardar Barwari, and 2002 I came this country. I come by the like illegal, and then I seen the police on the way, but I believe between London and Birmingham, something like that. I called them. I said, "Excuse me, I haven't passport," and they said, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Iraq." So they said, "Okay, come with me." They took me and some friends with me. We're going, and they took my name, my date of birth, basic information. They took it. Then they dropped me to, I believe it's like hostel, and they look after me. They give me some food and eating. Then after I just they dropped me to Clacton-on-Sea. One hostel is there. I stayed there till about around of 1 month. Then they sent me to Birmingham. And the Birmingham is very hard at that time, to be honest, because after I applied for like asylum application, they accept my asylum application. They give me for exceptional lift, 4 years. After 4 years, then I apply for indefinite. I waiting long time for I got indefinite. And then after 1 year, when I got indefinite, then I applied for British citizenship. Now I am British citizenship. I'm happy. I starting from zero. First thing, I just start to college about the language. I wasn't speak even one word in English. In 2005, I thinking about how I can make better life. Then I start my own business. I open one shop in Taunton Road, the Bolsley area. Then slowly I found friends, new friends, new customer. I have at the moment I have a lot of friends from Pakistan, from Bangladesh, from Yemen, from even the English people. I know most of the people. Nighttime I go to part-time college. About 5-6 years I continue like that. Then I finish level 1 English language. I stop from level 1. Then my kids continue going for education. I help them very well. I work hard for them. Even maybe I don't make a good money saving, but still I'm happy.